Hi, कैसे हो आप सब? Welcome back to my YouTube channel SAS with Vikas. And today we are going to start with the conditional statement. The very important topic of the base SAS. The in this topic we have to prepare the data. While once you're dealing with the to read the data or to prepare the data, this topic is going to be very helpful while creating the data, while solving any business problem. So you are dealing with to prepare the data, you have to use this conditional statement. And in the last lesson we had discussed that pdb and the option. This is also very important while learning this, while understanding this conditional statement. That's why I discussed earlier that pdb, and now today we are going to discuss with the conditional statement. So this is the topic, this is very less. Once I teach you, once guide you like this way, I'm explaining you this all topic with the sum of question. But what you have to do after learning this, you have to practice on this question, and also you have to make question to prepare the conditional question. Like suppose you have any kind of data, so what kind of condition you can think by that question, you need to prepare that question by yourself and do have to practice on that thing. Like what if that data is like this, what if I the data want like that this. So that is the question can be rise from there. So you have to do that thing. So let's start this topic and understand that all the thing first. Then you can create that data from among the data. Like you have to create that conditional statement, conditional data, by that giving the data by once you get that data. So let's just understand that one. Suppose you have the data, that is the class data set, but you are not interested for that one. Means your company, your sponsor is not interested for the whole data. Your company is interested for in the data, those who have this filter condition, that the conditional state. So that's why we have to dealing this conditional statement. So among the data, if you want to use that condition that I'm not interested for this whole data set, I'm interested only for this particular data. So that's why you have to use this conditional statement. Conditional statement is like that: if conditional statement, if and then conditional statement, if and then, else if and then. There are many more conditional statement you have to do. Okay, so if you are dealing with a condition of that among the whole data, so that is the possible with the conditional statement. There are many more types of the conditional statement, like you can see from here just for the learning. We'll see by running all the data one by one. But as of now, just you can see that we have the if conditional statement, if and then conditional statement. Again, we have the if and then, else if and then, and if and then, else if and then, and else. So this depend upon the condition. Suppose you have many more condition in the same data set. If you have many more conditional statement with the same data set, that you can use that as per the requirement. So apart from there, we have also the where conditional statement, if and then do conditional statement, and the select and when and otherwise conditional statement. So this is about the conditional statement, and where we have to use that all conditional statement, how we have to use that all conditional statement, we'll see by running this all data set one by one. So suppose you have the class data set and you are dealing with the whole data set. In that whole data set, you have the sex variable, and within that sex, there are two observations, that is the female and the male. But your company or you are not interested for the whole observation. You are dealing with, you are interested for only the female observation. So you can give that condition, and with the conditional statement, you can filter out that result. So let's see how we are doing this one. Data, just want to create this data of the exp1 data set, and set just want to call that existing data set, that is the class data set from the SAS help library. So this is the proper syntax, as we also know that, as we see that one thing in the previous one classes. So now the new thing is that one, the conditional statement, we are interested for in this only this sex is equal to female. So I'm using here the if sex is equal to female. So as the data like observation is the case sensitive, whatever the value in the observation of this variable, the sex variable, you have to be mention that variable in the same way. You can't use this small letter of the f instead of this f capital letter. So this is the just for the knowledge one, curious about that thing, like this is the case sensitive. Observation are always sensitive, case sensitive. So this is about this if conditional statement. We are using this sex variable for the female. Likewise we can get the filter condition result, like if you are running this one. So you can see that we are getting the result in the sex is equal to female only. Suppose we are not interested for that one, we are not interested for that one, we are, once I don't have the conditional statement, what we are getting that result. You can see that we have the conditional, we don't have any conditional statement, we have the class data set. We can see that all the data in the same way. We are getting the 5 variable and the 19 observation. The 5 variable is like name, 6 is height, weight, and the 19 observation coming likewise. But the company or your sponsor or you are not interested for the whole observation or the particular condition of that sex observation, sex variable observation. So if you are interested for the only female, that F letter, capital letter, so that is also that is only possible with the conditional statement. Here I am using this if because I want to give this condition. What the condition you want? If with the sex variable, so that's why I just type here the sex is equal to in the double inverted comma, that I would want to say that you observation always keeps in the double inverted comma. So what are the value of the observation? You need to use that the same. Observation is a case sensitive. So you have to use this capital letter F and run just to end the data set. So after running this data set, after giving this condition and running this data set, you can see that you can comparison that you can correlate that with that data set, that we are getting the result in now in the only the sex is equal to female. So you can see that the we are getting the variable that column 5 and the observation is 9. So this is about the conditional statement. And again, if you are interested to create some data also apart from them, if you filter that condition, that if sex is equal to F and I want to give that, like if sex is equal to F, then give the variable this is equal to that, like the reward is equal to, I want to give that filter result to reward like is equal to this $1,500 reward. So that is also possible with the conditional statement if and then. So here you can use this if and then conditional statement to learn this, like if you are interested for the condition with the variable sex is equal to female, and then you want to give the reward with that filter condition the to those female who are getting selected with the sex variable, and I want to give the reward of $1,500 to them. So likewise you can make condition like that's why I'm using this if and then conditional statement here. So once you have the conditional statement, this sex is equal to F, and you want to create a variable like reward is equal to $1,500, that is also possible with the conditional statement. Means here you can also learn this conditional statement is also used to create any variable or to create any data. By here you can see that we by here you can analyze that also. So let's understand this one, like after then we'll run this data set and see by analyzing the output data what the comes what the outcomes comes in the output data. So data just I want to create this data of the exp2 name and ex set. I'm calling this data with this set exp1, and those who have the condition if sex is equal to female, then I want to give the reward is equal to $1,500. As this is the character one, so I have to give use within this double inverted comma and run just because to end this data set. So let's run this data set and see what happened in the output data. Here you can see that we are getting the variable 6 and the observation 9. Observation 9, just because I had given this condition, if sex is equal to F, then I want to create this variable. The reward is equal to $1,500. That's why I'm getting this variable value. Reward is equal to $1,500. So you can see that by this one. By this way, we can also create the data. By this way, we can also create the variable, and we can give even give the conditional statement also. So this is as per me, like as per me, that I want to deal with this data set like that way. We can make the condition with that way also. And you can also understand this data set. This will give the within this for this data set, you can use this syntax also. You no need to create this data set first, then you have to give this conditional statement within that data set. Within a single data set, you can do this one, like if sex is equal to female, then if sex is equal to female, then reward is equal to this, like that you can use that. So this is possible only once you're dealing with that. So deal with that, like what is happening. And by running this one, you can also see that we are dealing with the condition, the same condition we are getting. The total number of variable is 5 6, sorry, and the total number of the observation is 9. So this is about that conditional statement. And there are many more conditional statement also, like once you have the multiple condition, then you can use that one for the same in the same data set. Like if you, for the sex variable, I want this sex name, I want to change that variable name, like male, m is equal to male and f is equal to female. That is also possible with the if then and else if then. If you have the multiple option conditional, if you have the multiple condition with the particular variable, then you can use that if and then, else if and then. Again, if you have more than two conditional statement, then you can use also if then, if and then, else if and then, and again else. So this is about that conditional, like that you can make condition with that data set. What happen if I'm shortlisting, I'm filtering this data with this, and what happened by this way. So all things you can see by making the condition with the data. So let's understand this class exp4 dataset. Actually, I'm facing this some power issue. That's why I'm using my live flashlight or mobile. So let's continue this session. Like if you have the multiple conditional statement, then how you're dealing with that data. That's why I'm just creating this exp4 class data set. That is the data set of exp4. I'm calling this class data set from the SAS library with the use of set statement. And again giving the conditional with the use of if, with the variable of sex is equal to female. If sex is equal to female, then sex underscore new, just because I want to create this variable. Sex underscore new is equal to female. And again, I want to give the condition with that same variable. If else if that is not, then this, if else if sex is equal to male, that is m, then sex underscore new is equal to male. Like that way you want to change that variable sex observation, and I want to store that value in the new variable, that is the sex underscore new. So by this way we can do that one. Let's run this one and see what happened in the output data set. You can see that we are getting the 6 variable and the 19 observation as per the same. But the changes here, wherever the value of the sex variable is m, then I will get the value of sex underscore new is equal to male. Similarly for the f, I'm getting the value female. So like that way we can create the variable as well. We can give the condition for the sex variable also. Similarly, if you're dealing with that, like I'm interested for the age variable, but I want to categorize this age variable in three types. Those who have the age below than this, then it will be under this. Those who have the age greater than this, then it will be under this. Those who have age uh, above that, this will be in the this condition. So that is also possible with the conditional statement if and then, else if and then, and the condition is last else. So like that way nested else loop you can use that. As we also learn in the many programming language, this is also the same. But this is very very important, just because you have to make condition, you have to create the condition within that data set as per the requirement, as per the response from the company. So you have to do practice with this all 2 or 3 times. You have to make a question by yourself, you have to create data by yourself and do practice by making question on that particular data. just for the analyzing the thing, what are the changes, what are the data, what are the changes in the data by using that filter condition. That is the thing you need to know. So you can see here I'm getting this like data of, I want to create this data of the xp5. I'm calling this data with the help of a set statement of the class data set from the sasl.library. So I'm using this one. Let's comment this one. Like I will discuss with this point later. First, I need to run this. We need to learn this all thing conditional statement. What is this? So if age equal to 14, we having the data in the class data set. We have the variable age. So in the age variable, if age equal to 14, then I want to create the variable the team. The data of the age variable 14 will be in the under 14. And if the data of the age is equal to 15, if that is not possible, if there is no age 14, age equal to 14, then apart from the age 14 is it 15, age 15. So I'm using this else if age equal to 15, then the team is equal to under 15, else the team is equal to disqualified. So what I'm doing by this a conditional statement, I'm making a variable within that with the age variable, the value of age variable, I'm categorizing the person, I'm categorizing the data. Like those who have the age is equal to 14, it or you can use that the current operator. I'll teach you later like how you're going to use that operator with the data with the conditional statement all thing. Like if you're using this less than 14, or you can use that multiple option also. As of now just using age is equal to 14, then you categorize that data in the team under 14. If you have the more than 14, or you can use that age is equal to 15, then categorize that data in the team under 15. Whatever the data apart from the 14 and 15, so just give store that in the team disqualified. So I'm just doing this one. So by running this one, you can see that like we are getting the variable 6 and then observation 19. So variable 6 is like the team variable we are creating. What we are creating in the variable 6? For the age equal to 14, I want that data in the under 14. For the age equal to 15, I want that data in the under 15. And apart from the 14 and 15, I want that all data in the disqualified. But we are getting the same. We are getting the result in the same way. We are getting that whole thing in the same way. But the one thing is like we are getting that different. Like we are getting the truncation error. Like whatever the value in the team variable I had given, we are not getting the same value in the output data. So this is called the truncation error, the truncation of the value. So this can be resolved by using this length statement. Length statement, just learn from here. If you have to increase the length of the any variable, you can increase that variable length by using this length. So I'm using this length just because I want to increase the length of this variable team. And you already saw that we have that length of the variable team is 8. So you can also count that one till how many later I want that length, or else you can give the maximum more than that all. So if you're getting that for that variable, that is the, for that we need to use this dollar symbol, and for that you length we have to use this periodic symbol after giving the length of that one. So I'm using here length team dollar 20. I just want to give the length of this variable 20 and periodic dots. That's why the signifying that I want to increase the length of variable team till 20. So by using this length, or by increasing the variable length, you can get all the value in the output data of team variable. So you can see by here, like you are getting the whole value, all variable values in the team variable. So this is about that one. And now you have like one more the there are one more conditional statement that is the very important. once you have the condition and more than one action. Once you have the condition, here we are dealing with the one condition and one action, one condition and one action, one condition and one action. But once you have the one condition and more than one action, then you have to use this if and then do conditional statement. So this is very very important while creating the data. You just learn this one, like how we are dealing with the data, well, if you have the one condition and more than one action. So here we'll use this if and then do. Let's understand in this data set every step one by one. So data, just because I want to create this data set exp6, and using this set just want to call this data set, that is the class data set from SAS library, and using this conditional statement if sex is equal to m. I have the condition sex is equal to m. Then I have the action for that condition is more than one. Like if you have the condition only, if sex is equal to m, then vehicle is equal to safari. Then we can use that if sex is equal to m, then vehicle is equal to safari. Then there is no need of then do conditional statement. But once we have the more than one action, we are interested for the vehicle, we are interested for the country, we are interested for the phone, we are interested for the location, all things. If you have the with one condition you have the more than one action, at that time you need to use this if and then do conditional statement. So you can use this then do conditional statement, then the semicolon, just want to terminate this statement. After that you have to give the action of the variable, like what you want to create that very action, all things you can summarize, and you have to use this. Once you are opening any do loop, you have to end that do loop also. So I just, that's because I'm using this end. Again you want to give the condition, like if sex is equal to f, that is the female, then again you have the multiple action for the sex variable sex is equal to f conditional statement. Then you are again you are using this then do conditional statement. Again you are using this vehicle, country and phone for the sex is equal to female one. So by this way also, again you have to use this end to end this do loop, and you have to run that, just because to run end of the data set. So let's run this data set and see what happened if the using of the one conditional statement and multiple action. So you can see that here we are creating the variable, three variable, that we are creating the three new variable, that is the country, vehicle and phone. And for the sex is equal to female, if you have the sex is equal to male, then you have the country, vehicle and phone option like this. And if you are having the sex is equal to male, then you have the country and vehicle phone option is like this. So this is what we are dealing with, that one. Like that you can create many more data, many more question data that will help you while learning this conditional statement. So this is the major thing about this conditional statement. With once you're dealing with the conditional statement, that is the if and then, if then, else if and then, and again else. And at the last, if you're dealing with the if and then do conditional statement. So what is this and how is this and why we are using this, I already discussed with you all the thing. Now we have the further, that is the important, the filter conditional statement, that is the where. So as of now, just learn this thing, like what is the where conditional statement. But basically, we are dealing with this where filter conditional statement. That once we have to give the condition, that the filter one, like what is this and what are inside that one. Suppose you have the class data set, but you are interested, or you are interested for only sex is equal to female, then you have to use this where conditional statement. Just like that, let's understand this each step. Data, just because I want to create this data of exp7, and set, just want to calling the existing data of class data set from the SAS library. And where, just because I want to give the filter, I want to filter that data from the class data set of the sex variable is equal to only the female candidate. So by running this we can see that we are getting the uh, result, like where the sex is equal to female, we are getting that thing. So here one question may rise from your side, like what are the difference with the if and where. we are getting the same result, then why we are doing with the two other conditional statement? So I'll teach you, I'll discuss with you with the one particular whole question with that, like what are the difference between if and where conditional statement. Even we are getting the same result, but there is a huge difference with the if and where conditional statement. That is just because of the PDB, that is the data step processing backside of the screen, that is happening. So as of now, just giving you hint, while practice you can learn this thing. While if you're running this if conditional statement and where filter conditional statement, then you have to analyze the whole thing with the log window. By analyzing the whole thing with the log window, you can see that you are getting the result, like why that is the important, what is the difference between them. So this is the about like the difference of that. And I'll discuss that question, particular question of the difference between the if and where conditional statement, all thing. And there is one more conditional statement, that is the select when and otherwise. This is the very rare use of this conditional statement, but as we have in the syllabus, so I have to discuss what is this and how we are going to discuss this. So the condition is the same as we are using with the if and then conditional statement. We are getting the result as the same also, but the way of writing the syntax is different. So that's why we are not using that. It sometimes it might be difficult, but some question this is the necessary condition. By using this condition only, you can solve that question. I'll discuss all thing, like I'll discuss this point also, with which question you have to use that, you have to use this conditional statement. So once we are dealing with the question, once you are dealing with the whole question of the complete after completing the base SAS, then I'll teach you like what is the deep use of this selective and otherwise statement. So as of now, just creating the data just because I want to create this data exp8, and calling this as class dataset from SAS library with the use of set statement. And again we having the select conditional statement because I want to use that. So this is about that select, just because this is the syntax of this conditional statement, select when and otherwise. After select, you have to use this semicolon, and again you have to use this when. Within these brackets, in close bracket, you have to use sex is equal to female, and then I want to create this sex 1 is equal to female. Similarly, we are using that one in the conditional statement if and then. So I'm just also again here I want to use that the sex is equal to f is equal to sex 1 is equal to female. Similarly, when sex is equal to m, that is the male, I want to use that store that in the new variable sex 1 is equal to male. Otherwise, sex 1 is equal to other. So I just similarly with the do loop, we have to end that conditional statement and run to end this data set. So after running that this data set, you can see that we are getting the same result with that one. Sex 1 variable, we are getting the same result. As per the male, we are getting the male. For the female, we are getting the female. But this is the necessary condition. This is the part of syllabus, so have to discuss. Like this way we can create with the help of select and when otherwise conditional statement. But this whole thing we can do with the use of if and then conditional statement by easy way. So no need to use this conditional statement anymore. Just have to use that and practice all the thing whatever discussed till today. And tomorrow I'll discuss that the first and the last visit of that employee or any person in that organization, you can find out. And even you, if you have the main missing value or not missing value, you can also figure out with that. And later on also we will start that the operator part, whatever the operator in the SAS and how we are dealing with that operator. Hopefully we will cover that thing. So this is all about today, and just have to practice this thing. Like this is very important, I'm telling you, this is very important. Once you are making that the table, the listing, the report of that one, so you have to deal with this. Like once you are dealing with the SDTM, the add-on one part, then you have to do use this conditional statement many more time. So just have to be very proficient in this conditional statement. So this is about the today lecture, and just to practice. If you have any doubt, just please ping me. You can reach me directly also on my WhatsApp, or you can also reach me on the LinkedIn profile. I'll definitely reach out to you. If you have any query, just ping me also. Thank you for today.